Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. So, one of the big announcements I was kind of excited about from CES recently was the Fuji Finepix S1 camera. Now, I have the Canon SX50. Done a review on that before, done a few articles, I think. I'll have to dig it through, or you can dig through. Use the search box on YouTube there and type in SX50. You'll see everything that's been done. Anyways, I love my little SX50. 50 times zoom is equivalent to 1200 millimeters in 35 millimeter speak, which is a long lens. And the really unique thing about the SX50 is the lens is very good both at the wide and at that long 1200 millimeters, which I wouldn't have thought that would be the case prior to buying the SX50, because you would think you can't get that for that price. You wouldn't think that usually you get what you pay for, and actually you don't. Here you get more than you pay for. Anyways, Fuji S1, I've got eight reasons why I think I want the Fuji S1 over my SX50. I think I'm gonna have to test out the S1. I'm gonna have to buy one, shoot it against my SX50, but I think my SX50 is going on the auction block, going over to eBay. Now, granted, the SX50 is getting a little old in the tooth. It's actually not very old. It's like, what's it been out for, a little over a year maybe? But in these days, that's a long time. So we've got 8 reasons. First of all, we've got one being the sensor. We've got a newer sensor, 16 megapixels. It's a 1 over 2/3 inch sensor, versus the 12 megapixel same size sensor for physical size in the SX50. So we got 4 more megapixels out of the Fuji S1, but with Fuji's sensors, they tend to get really nice low light and really fine detail. So I'm expecting that not only are we getting 4 more megapixels, I think we're going to see better performance out of those that 16 megapixel sensor than I get out of my Canon SX50, which I've been quite happy with. They both shoot RAW, the S1 and the SX50. So both of them have the advantage there over other cameras in the sense that they shoot RAW, which I really like about my SX50. But the S1 does it, and I think we're gonna have a better sensor. Lens quality remains to be seen on the S1 at the 1200 millimeter end and at the wide end if it's a good quality lens. But the advantage of the S1 over the SX50 is the S1 is a f2.8 to f5.6 lens, whereas the SX50 is a f3.4 to f6.5 lens. So a little faster lens on the S1, and we'll always take a better aperture, faster lens when we can get it. And obviously the S1 wins there. That's point 2. Point 3, 5-axis image stabilization. We've seen this to be incredible on the Olympus cameras, namely the OMD cameras. That's the EM5 and the EM1. And now we're seeing 5-axis image stabilization being introduced here on the S1. I don't know for sure because I have to try it, but I would suspect that it's going to trounce the IS in the SX50. The SX50 is good. I expect the S1 to be better. It's newer, more current technology. Not really a knock on the SX50 because it is an older camera, but one of the reasons I want to upgrade. Number 4, ISO 100 to 12,800, and that's in the S1 versus ISO 80 to 6,400 in the SX50. Now, this goes back to image quality in the sensor. I'm expecting, because they've increased the ISO range, that this tells us they're more comfortable with the performance of the sensor, meaning that I think it will be better than the SX50. Not that I would use it at those high-end ranges, but that it'll have better detail and better noise characteristics at the lower ones where I am going to use it. Number 5, much nicer LCD on the new Fuji S1 compared to the SX50. The SX50 is one of the reasons that one of the areas that Canon cheaped out. 2.8 inch LCD, 461K LCD on the SX50. It's okay, it's not great. The new Fuji S1 has a 920K 3-inch vari-angle LCD, so big bonus on the S1. And even though I haven't added it as a point, it probably should be, because I suspect that the viewfinder on the S1 will be much nicer than the SX50. The SX50's viewfinder, the actual, not the LCD on the back, but the electronic viewfinder built into it, sucks. I love the camera, but that is one of its weak points. It's barely usable. You almost always want to shoot with the LCD on the back, and I don't think this is going to be the case with the S1 because I don't know. I'm not counting it as a point in favor yet. Video quality. Got a little bit of a boost on video quality with the S1. We're at 1080 at 60 frames per second. We only have 1080 at 24 frames per second on the SX50. So that's another advantage on the S1. S1 also, number 7, dust and weather resistant. I don't know, I don't remember if Canon built that on the SX50. I don't think they did because it's really not a dust and weather resistant body. You could tell just by looking at it. And I've always been very, very careful with it and apprehensive to take it out in any type of precipitation. But we've got a dust and weather resistant body on the S1, so that is very nice. Lots, I think over 70 weather seals or something they said, so that's something to look forward to. Also, number 8 on the S1 is built-in Wi-Fi. We don't have that on the SX50. These days, I think everybody should be putting built-in Wi-Fi into their cameras. It's just the world we live in, and it makes things so much more convenient. 0.9, I'm not going to count it as a full point. I'm just going to throw it in there as a bonus. There is 37 megabytes of built-in memory on the S1. Not a huge amount, but it's there. You know, for whatever reason, if you don't have the video, if you don't have the card in, or let's just say something was happening in front of you and you didn't happen to have the card in, you could catch the moment on the built-in memory on the S1, but you can't on the SX50. It's not a lot of memory, but it might save you in that thing. That's why I'm not going to count it as a full point. Anyways, there's 8 good points why I want to get the S1 over my SX50. Want to try it out against it, make sure, because the one thing I really like about my SX50 is that it's very good lens quality on both the long end and the wide end, making it a very nice ultra zoom. As long as that is equivalent on the S1, all these other factors are going to trump the SX50 terribly, so I'm probably going to sell it. What do you think? Do you have an SX50? You interested in the S1? Give me some comments below. Let's get a discussion going if there's questions, whatnot. And stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have the S1 for review soon. And in any case, we'll be back soon with some new videos, some new articles. Keep you up to date with what's going on in the world of photography here at artoftheimage.com. Thanks a lot, folks.